What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? Hi, Squeaks. You're muted.
You know,
there it is.
Didn't we just talk about that?
Yeah, you know, it's good to get it out of the way. It's good to get it out of the way first thing.
At least I can say honestly, it's not because I'm turning 39 in 2 days. Okay, you know, I still got my my membranes in there a little bit.
I'm still trying to figure out my excuse.
Right.
But we actually have a really awesome show lined up for you guys tonight. But before we get started and bring our guest on, I want to say hello to our very own Emmy from PDX.
Hello.
And Alea, I hope I'm saying that right, from the V Team Paranormal. Welcome back. Glad to see you. And I know you just saw the first couple shows, so I'm sorry. Wait a minute. What? Emmy, which one are you on? Are you on Paracrew or are you on P3 Entertainment? Because let me know, because I'll remedy that. But anyway,
that's weird. I can see it on my end. She has one.
Really? On her end? On your end?
Yep. Yes, on my end.
Which one are you looking at? Paracrew?
No, she's through YouTube.
Yeah. Well, which one? The Paracrew or P3 Entertainment?
Possibly her own. Does she have one of her own?
No, I mean, which one of our channels? I'll find her. Kimberly, how are you doing tonight? I know the feeling. Emmy. I know the feeling. We're not alone. So, Squeaks, before we get started, we actually have some awesome news that even you, I think you know about. You know what's happening tomorrow, don't you?
No, fine.
Maybe. Squeakers is lost. So let me help her. So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, is the official launch of the Global Ghost Hunt website. I cannot wait. Forgot about that, didn't you?
See, yeah, I did forget about that. I need those Post-its, man. I swear anymore.
See, I like the Post-its, but I get too many stuck on my forehead, and
I have
can't see.
this, but
Hey,
Let's see.
Dumb
There's
shit.
one person watching.
see your phone?
No. Emmy's on. That's why, Emmy, you're on the P3 Entertainment. You're not on the Paracrew. That's what it is. So you're on the wrong one. So this one's not logged in. I'll fix that. Anyway, Angela, welcome. And let's see, our boy Tanner. What's up, Tanner? How you doing? He's next. He's coming up very quickly.
Yep.
Can't wait to chat with Tanner. But yeah, guys, you're at the hospital?
July 15th for Tanner.
We got to chat, Emmy. Are you okay? What'd you do to J-Mac? But anyway, yes, guys, we have the Global Ghost Hunt website officially coming out. And I'm telling you guys right now, please, if you are wanting to participate in the Global Ghost Hunt, go to globalghosthunt.com tomorrow. Not right now. Don't you dare leave. And sign up. Now, I will let you guys know it is going to take a little bit of time for us to process all the applications and everything else, not just for locations, but for also the investigative side of it. So once you guys go there, you sign up, wait and hang out, relax, and we will get back with you. And there's going to be somebody, whether it's a locations or team or investigator team lead, we will be in contact to get everything set up, make sure you guys are ready to go. And if you don't have a location, that's perfectly fine too. We can help you out with that later. But the fact is, we only have a limited amount of spaces available, so sign up quick. And if you're wondering, it does cost, but it's going to be worth it because you get a lot of different perks for it. So got a lot of big things planned. So anyway, we can't wait either, Tanner. I honestly, ever since I was on your show, I've been bragging about your show to Squeakers and Lurker, my co-host. So they're really excited about it too. Professional Paranormal Research. Welcome. Love the logo. That's cool. So anyway, are you okay? Care to share?
I'm sorry, my sister's about ready to blow a gasket over here.
Well, Squeakers is relaxing, so let's bring on the. Hello, I have a horsefly, but I didn't know where I don't know where that came from, and now it's crawling on my screen. So if you see my eyes, just there's a fly. Anyway, so we
At least it's not a spider.
Well, we're not gonna go there. Squeakers flips her laptop every time. You hear about flipping your wig? Squeakers flips her laptop, the table, the house, everything. She's a spider. It is so funny.
F-bombs galore, man. You better believe it.
It was so funny. We were live the one night, and Charles, we have you backstage, brother. I see you. Bear with us. Tangents. We see a lot of shiny stuff, but maybe. We were live the one night, and right before we ended the show, all we hear from Squeakers is, "Oh my God, there's a spider! F this, F that," and just computer gone. We're like, I think it killed her. It was great. But it's honestly fitting to start the show laughing because we actually, what's up, Mark from Enlightened Souls Paranormal? Go check them out. Part of our P3 family, along with our boy Raymond. What's up, Raymond? And of course, Emmy from PDX. Got some of our family in here tonight. Love it, love it. But I don't know about you, Squeaks, but the past couple of weeks have been kind of stressful. I know me personally, I even said this to you, Squeaks. I just feel different. I don't know what it is. It's just something doesn't feel right. I feel kind of and blah and all this unmotivated. So this show and this awesome guest couldn't have came at a. Do I need the 18 and over for that one? I'm going to say yes. Almost. She was close, Raymond. Hello. But this guest couldn't have came at a better time, guys, because we have the professional relaxation specialist. And I like that. I'm going to use that. That's a great title. Yeah, he agrees too. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome
100%.
back. This show might turn different ways, so don't go anywhere. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Paracrew podcast, the one and only Charles. Charles, welcome, my brother. Welcome.
Hello. You should have said everybody that was in.
I'm sporting my summer haircut and my summer shirt.
And I have my winter body year round.
Well, you're in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Don't remind me. No. No, I just, no matter what, I can't get rid of I can't get a six pack no matter what. So I just figure, you know what? Everybody brings, nobody wants to bring a six pack to a party. You want the keg, more to share.
Right.
Anyway, I'm going to get you, Squeaks. We're going to see a muted snort here very soon, and I can't wait. But speaking of your shirt, Charles, I know this is a little off topic, but you see how you're used to this by now. Your shirt, it is absolutely amazing, and we kind of spoke about it a little earlier. Care to explain where you got that?
Yeah, this weekend, my daughter and grandkids and her husband came over, and we all spent time out on the lake with friends, and my daughter and I and my 2-year-old granddaughter made tie-dye, and it really turned out really nice. We made a few shirts and made the babies little outfits and dresses and stuff, their grandson and granddaughter. So it was really fun. And honestly, I've done tie-dye over the years, but you have to do the vinegar and you have to do all this stuff. These newer kids, 2022, it's like just put it on overnight, wash it once, good to go.
That is awesome. And I did notice this because for those of you who don't know, I was in my mobile podcast studio outside. I just noticed now your straw in your drink actually matches that shirt. And that is really cool. That is really cool. I absolutely love it. So, well, first of all, welcome back. Glad to have you back. It's been a long time. And honestly, like I said, having you back here as the guest couldn't have came at a better time. So before we begin on some little, yeah, you do have a little heart shapes, don't you? Right there on the shoulder.
Yeah, some of it turned out kind of interesting. Yeah,
that is cool. Hello, Diane. So, for those of you who don't know who Charles is, Charles, would you like to give a brief introduction, or just an introduction? I don't care. Your call on how long you want to make it, on who you are, what you do, and why you're so chill.
Right.
You like that?
Well, I for about 30 years now have been a hypnotherapist and spiritual facilitator. I've always been into meditation and spiritual experience, whether that be astral projecting, connecting with guides, having and like we've talked about before, I grew up in a home that was very spiritual. My mother was a medium, and so I saw and experienced things even as a child that just told me that there's far more out there than we know. And over the years, and working with friends and family, clients, I really found, and a lot of doctors, psychiatrists as well, is they would send clients to come see me because no matter what you're dealing with in life, stress and anxiety makes it worse.
Yeah.
You know, it can make you physically worse. It can make you mentally worse. It can make you more tired, less inspired. And you're right. These last few weeks have been, well, really, the last few years for people, with the pandemic and then all the things that have happened, the shootings of July 4th. I mean, it seems like there's shootings all the time, and so what I do on my show is try to have a place where you can just go. There's a lot of times the shows have guided meditations or spiritual experiences that along the way, my work, which changed maybe from my upbringing, was instead of me facilitate for you the connection with someone that you care about or your spiritual experience, why don't I share with you how to do it for yourself? And then you have your own experience, and then you can make that what you need it to be in your life. And more than ever, having a place where you can just relax for a few minutes or let go of all the craziness that's going around, going on around us is becoming more and more something that people need. And really recently, and even up here in Coeur d'Alene, that made national news. We had our Pride was going on, and Coeur d'Alene Pride was going on, and here was 30 some people loading up. And at first, it was very widely reported that they were going to Coeur d'Alene Pride. What's now turned out is they were actually pulled over on the freeway, and there's no reason to get on the freeway if you're going to Coeur d'Alene. So now it's thought they were coming to Spokane. Either way, it's just crazy times, and it really puts people on edge. And you mentioned it earlier. There's so many people that have reached out to me that have just said, I just don't feel quite right. I feel nervous. I feel stressed. I feel just not in the flow of that love and light and that beautiful, mind, body, spirit that we got.
That's awesome. And I agree with the comments. That's absolutely perfect. And apparently Emmy says you have some hearts on your belly area. So
in here. Yes. There we go.
The middle one, absolutely. But the ones on the side kind of look like footprints, almost like,
right.
That's cool. That is really cool. And Emmy also says that she needs you in her life ASAP. That actually might be good merch. We all need a Charles. I like that. Maybe that'll be our next merch. What's up, Dom from 13 Spirits? How you doing, brother? We're a long time no talk. Dom was in a meeting we just got out of not too long ago. But so, okay, I wasn't sure if she knew she was muted or what was going on. I didn't know what. You're good? You good? Okay. Good luck closed captioning. So, Charles, tell us a little bit about.
Mm-hmm. That's why she's muted, I see.
Yeah, we have some extra commentary. We have third-party commentators tonight. So you mentioned your show. Just so everybody is aware, the link to Charles's show is in the description, and Squeakers kind of seems surprised about that. But the link for Charles's show is in the description. Seriously, go check it out. So would you mind giving just a little rundown of what your show consists of? Like, do you have different topics each week? Do you have different guests? What's a general show for you?
Well, many of the shows do contain guided meditations and spiritual experiences. We do sometimes have guests. You all have been on guests on the show, and sometimes I'll bring on people that are from the mind, body, spirit world that can share. I've had psychologists, I've had ghost hunters, I've had mediums, that will sometimes be on the show as special guests. We always have a Friday night spiritual night, we call it. And that started years ago back here in Spokane. I used to do them live here in person. And then as I started moving around a bit, people were like, hey, we want to keep it up. And that's actually what started my show back in 2014, was so that people could still do the types of things we did with the Friday night spiritual night. And it can be guided meditations, astral projection, connecting with angels, connecting with a loved one. We just did a series that ended, I think, in the beginning of April. That was a 10-part series called The Path to Total Consciousness, which took you step by step through mind, body, and spirit connection and consciousness. And I think the underlining factor is, and a lot of people that have been listening for years say, the difference is sometimes we do have talk and sometimes we have call-ins, but often the whole purpose of the show is to talk a little bit about anything, about a subject, about relaxation, about motivation, about inspiration, about getting rid of fear and judgments, about healing. And then that's followed up with a spiritual experience or guided meditation. And I'm blessed to have, I've worked in all the work I've done over the years, retreats in person with clients. Sarah Squeakers knows her. I worked with artist formerly known as Eloa. Her name, she now goes by her original name, which is Elizabeth DeFreyes. But she produces all kinds of meditation music with sounds of nature, bells, harp, and I've been blessed that I have all of her original music to mix with the experiences, and that's really special when you have a show like I do, to have that type of music that you can pair with.
That's awesome. And Facebook user, not sure who it is, because I know there's Dom, I know there's Melissa. I'm not sure if there's anybody else, but they're saying that they love the sign.
Kyle, as soon as I'm done ironing, you, me, and him are gonna.
Squeakers, that was good. You didn't even move your mouth for that. That was cool.
Sorry, I was gonna
Cool.
say, you know what, Charles? That's what makes your podcast authentically you too. To have something that nobody else has. That so that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. And I'm not sure which one, because you have a lot of great little decorum going on, but I'm assuming it's the Relax, Let Go, and Be right behind you. There it says Experience Your Path. I think that's the one they're talking about.
There's also Love Yourself, which is a painting someone did for me to put in my office. This painter that did the painting, Love Yourself, I'll bring it closer to the camera. Maybe. This painter painted all really dark pictures, and I mean dark, like, really dark. And then one day she showed up when I was doing the Friday night spiritual nights and said, I painted this for you. And I said, you did? Because hers are like blood and, vampires and werewolves. And she said, yeah, I was thinking about, isn't the key of what you do is help people to love themselves? And I'm like, yes. And so I love it that it's something that someone created saying, this is kind of your mission. So I made you this for your office. So,
and I just have to ask, that is a cupcake, right?
Yep, it's a cupcake
I love
with
it.
a cherry on top with angel wings.
I love it. I need a print. So going to the relaxation part of this, a lot of people have came to me and want to help with stress. And there's some people who, like my wife, for example. I love eucalyptus. I love the smell of eucalyptus. It's relaxing. I enjoy it. It clears out sinuses. It does a lot of things. She hates it.
Right.
Is in your research, is there any like universal one where you never really had somebody say, I just don't like that? Like, is there anything like sage, sandalwood, anything that most people can get to help them relax?
Well, honestly, I've always found some people, because at times we did, workshops and retreats where we would use different types of oils and things like that. And honestly, it seems like everybody has the one they like and everyone has the one they don't like as much. Certainly, for me, eucalyptus is a good one, or mint, or, one thing that I like doing myself is I'll do an oil with peppermint and orange. I combine peppermint and orange and then burn that, because then you get kind of this orangey mint smell, And it's interesting you mentioned that, because for a lot of people, your attachment to spirit, you might say, some people see things, some people hear things, but there are people that taste and and smell are a big piece. Like I'll take someone in a guided meditation or a guided experience, and they're experiencing something from the past, and I can taste the hay in the barn. I'm in my grandfather's barn, or I can smell my grandma's apple pie, or, and you probably notice too, a lot of people when they have spiritual experiences with even people that have passed, things like that, they'll smell a whiff of perfume and realize, oh, that was mom's perfume, or that was dad's cologne, and so it's kind of interesting how smell is such a big one that people are really attracted to, and that smells can either kind of relax you, or like you said, you're relaxing and your wife's going at the same time.
And
You get 40 pounds on there?
You okay? Okay. Oh, you're gonna have a fun show, Squeaks. And there she goes with the ventriloquist act. I love it. So they were talking about the Experience Your Path one, and I do agree that is really nice. The poster behind you, the sign behind you, that is a really amazing one. No, the only reason why I say that is because usually when you hear the word meditate,
Right.
you hear about those the CDs, the music or meditation music, but you also hear people say about scented candles, incense, and a lot of people
Water therapy.
And a lot of people are really like, either pro lavender or pro one smell, pro another, but no one's really came out and said, is there one specific one that most people liked or to start trying out? And which leads me to the next one. There's obviously a lot of different therapies and meditation techniques and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people now coming out of the woodwork, so to speak, who want to start to meditate. They want that couple moments just to kind of reset themselves. What would you suggest to brand new people to start trying first and foremost? Like what kind of meditation techniques or relaxation techniques?
Well, and we share a bunch on the show, different ones, but one of the things that I've always shared with clients, I share everything I go, everywhere, anytime I talk about it, because it's simple and it helps a lot, is whether you're getting ready to go in for a job interview, whether you're just stressed out, whether you want to start, I do it throughout the day, put it that way. And what it's doing is literally getting yourself either in a standing or sitting position where you're comfy and your legs are flat, and just allowing yourself to take 10 deep breaths and go, you breathe in, then you breathe out. And what the idea is when you're doing these breaths, you're, like for instance, for me, a simple one is I'm breathing in love and light. I'm breathing out fear and judgment. I'm breathing in inspiration and motivation. I'm breathing out, stress and anxiety. I'm breathing in prosperity and connection in my life. I'm breathing out doubt and struggle or stress or anxiety. A lot of people will use it with pain. I'm breathing in relaxation and healing. I'm breathing out this pain or this discomfort. And even when I work with people, say pre-surgery, that there are people that either can't do anesthesia, or I've worked with people that had like knee surgeries and they can't even give them like a Tylenol after the surgery. And so you literally have them breathe, I've worked with them before, but that's a simple thing that resets yourself. It seems like really, but give it a try. Give it a try some point and say, okay, I'm going to give this a try, and really just take those 10 deep breaths and whatever you need to be saying to yourself. I need to relax. I need to, I need to let go of stress. I need to let go of some hate that's in my life. I need to let go of some negativity that happened today, and just that little reset can really help you. And then digging deeper into meditation. And it's true. Many years ago when I started, and we even here in the phone book, we put under meditation and hypnotherapy. And I remember the person that was taking our phone book info said, I don't think anyone's going to look under either of those categories. You know what I mean? And there's like, believe us, they will in time. They will in time. And there are many different ways. And so working with clients, like some people, the old adage is, well, some people can't relax enough to meditate, or some people can't be hypnotized. That's absolutely not true. Now, it is true if you're really stressed and you're really in your head a lot, it can be a little harder. Or I'll work with someone to find what those key words or key elements are. But here's how you know that you can go into what's called the same type of relaxation that you would go into with hypnotherapy or guided meditation, It's very similar to your mind and we all, we've all had, Squeaker's got a house full of kids right now. It's when you were a kid or you have kids and you're trying to get their attention and they're watching TV or playing a game and they don't even know you're in the room. That is a sense. That's one step. If you've ever, and we've all had this, we've all had moments when you're driving and then, it's a route that you always take from work to home and you get thinking about something and all of a sudden you're pulling in the driveway and you go, where have I been? Like,
been there.
I'm glad I made it home. Been
so
there. There's all these ways that we can actually slip. You get deep in thought. I have that all the time with people. Try to get their attention and they're deep in thought, thinking of something, and they're not present in the room. Those are all the steps towards that relaxation or that meditation. And one of the way I was taught hypnotherapy was called heart-centered, client-centered. So the idea was, rather than me tell you, don't do that anymore, it's bad, we go deep and find the wording and the connection. Why did you start in the first place? Why is it important to you? How can we change that importance? How can we get all of your mind to be present and make a change or create what you need? So therefore, each session, if it's a private session, is very individual. And I've even had people say, well, tell me what I need to do. No, let's help you to get in touch with your mind and your soul, consciousness, whatever word you want to use for it. And then let that guide what you need to do. What you need. You're just not, a lot of times when we get in stress places or places of grief for some people, places of, trauma where people have either been in the war or they've been, in accidents. I've worked with a lot of people that are like in car accidents and they're afraid to get back in the car, or they've been in some sort of water accident or almost drowned and they're afraid to get back in the water, so it's working. When we have those things happen, they really create differences in your life. And certainly, and we've shared about that in the show too, if you go through something truly horrific, you were shot, you were sexually or physically or mentally severely abused, these things you can heal it and you can become different, but if you don't, it can really affect your life. And I've worked with a lot of people, for instance, from the war, who they would say that every day we would get shot at. And I remember talking to one guy who came home. He was on a 2-week leave and he had previously been a client. He got a hold of me. He's like, Charles, I need your help right now. He's like, every day he goes, I'm home and I know mentally that I'm home, but I walk around every day waiting. Cause he's like, once we'd always have gunshots at a certain time in the morning and gunshots at a certain time in the evening. So when it doesn't happen, I'm always in this place of, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Even though I'm in Spokane, Washington, I'm relaxed. There's no one, well, in theory, there's no one running around trying to hurt me. So it's, or people that were in car, I worked one time with a lady that was in a horrific car accident and 2 of her family members died. And she went for a couple of years. She could not get in a car. She would try. She was a very stable in every other way. She was a very stable person, a very, logical person, very learned. But it didn't matter. As soon as she get in the car, she'd start crying or she'd get upset or she just would even put her foot to sit down in the back seat and be like, nope, not today. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and it makes sense. We have these, and for many people, it doesn't have to happen to you. And that's what we're all going through in the world. When you see that people at a July 4th or people in a concert or people at a movie theater or people in a grocery store or people walking down the street, it can't help but affect you. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that I had one friend, she's like, I've never been in anything, Charles, but the last week I've been unable to leave my house. Makes sense, but let's work on that. Yeah. Because we can't, you have to live your life logically, like don't think, well, I'm a Superman. I can just run down the highway and not get hit by a car. You know what I mean? Or I can jump off the roof and I can fly. But don't, the saddest thing that I think is happening for our world right now is that we become so separate from each other because we're on one level or another, whether it's the pandemic or the shootings or, dot in our world today. People are becoming more and more afraid of that person-to-person connection or gathering with a crowd. People, I know I talked to a friend over the weekend who said that they haven't been, since a couple of these church shootings have happened, they haven't been back to church just because they feel that their church is a more open and affirming church, and they feel like the community they live in, they could be a target.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's a real shame, because we've got to walk the line between being careful and being prepared, and also still living and enjoying our lives. The whole relax, let go, be above me with experience your path. That's been my mission my whole life, is to help people relax, let go of fear and judgments, and truly, with great joy, be who they want to be. And the thing is that if we lived in a world where everyone believed that they were awesome and beautiful, then they'd also by default have to believe so is everyone else awesome and beautiful, because we're all cut from the same cloth. But unfortunately, we live in a world where people are against gender, against race, against sexuality, against you name it. They'll find a way to make you someone they hate. And I think that's a challenge. But the best way to me to beat that challenge is live your life in love and light and joy, and let the people around you join you in that place.
Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it, everybody? I believe in the paranormal, we call that para-unity.
Yes.
Weird. Anyway,
those 1950s conversations that we all used to have, and have an opinion on, and then come back the next day and still have another conversation. It's fading, and it's sad.
Yep.
And we all need to come back to that.
And it's okay to have constructive criticism.
Yeah.
It's just the problem is some people don't believe that it's constructive. They take it as a personal shot. No. 9 times out of 10, it's constructive. Some people are trying to help you.
I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes I don't like confrontation, and so sometimes I either ignore it or I have an opinion that's probably too much of an opinion, and it slaps me in the face. But I'm learning.
It happens to all of us. So going back to the PTSD side of it, Charles, for the military, I know exactly not their situations, because obviously every situation is different, but I understand the struggles, because I don't think I've ever told anybody this, but I have it. I have PTSD. There are certain things that trigger mine. One of the biggest challenges for me was becoming aware, and like you said, about self-recognition, about being able to open your mind up, and be accepting of these meditations and the help that you're getting. But my question is, and I know it's different for everybody, but what do you find is the easiest, or not the easiest, but the most functional way to tear down that block, like that mental block, to start the healing process?
Well, and there's a couple steps. Some people are really aware of what caused it. Some people really aren't. And one example I've used a few times is, and I might have even used it on the show before, but it's one that I really like, because it shows the simplicity of it. There was a police officer I worked with here locally years ago who had a real fear of dogs. And he said, Charles, it's so bad that even when a kid is coming down the sidewalk with a puppy next to him, there's a part of me, he goes, I don't do it. And I compose myself on the outside, but on the inside, I just want to pull out my gun and shoot the dog before it can get anywhere near me. And he's like, here's the thing. I've never liked dogs, but I can't remember anything ever happening. So one of the things that we will do, is we will go and say, let's go back to when this first happened, and help you realize where it came from. If you don't, and even if you do, let's go back to that moment. And for him, he went back to being 2.5, 3 years old in his backyard, and a neighbor's dog broke through the fence, a very large dog, and bit him. So he didn't even remember that. So he got a hold of his mother after the session and said, hey, I had this I was like a kid, I'm like a toddler. And she's like, oh my gosh, you were basically about almost 3 when that happened. I can't even believe you still remember it. But for a couple of years, but it was gone by the time you were 5 or 6. You even had a slight scar that kind of healed up. And so for a lot of times, the recognition, like for him, the recognition that this happened. And then what you do in the session is you go, okay, this happened, but guess what? Now you're a 40-year-old man. You are way bigger than that dog. And I love dogs, okay? So I want to preference with what happened here was his choice in a memory, not in reality. In the memory, I said, now, so what we do is like a rescue. So for in his case, the 40-year-old man literally rescued him 2-year-old self. And I said, and what do you need to do? And I said, what do you need to do that dog? He's like, kick it back over the fence. well, kick it back over the fence then. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then even he, we became friends, and he talked to me, and he's like, Charles, the funniest thing is I will be walking down the street and see like a dog or some dog snarling, and I giggle because I think to myself, I'll just kick you over the fence. You better watch it. You know what I mean? It's like it changes that memory. Another really deep one was years ago. I worked with a World War II veteran who came to me because he was starting to have, at a certain time of night, he was having these night terrors and remembrance of when his group landed in Normandy. He was a medic, and he said, Charles, I went around from person to person, and we had different color flags we'd put up. And most of these people, I was putting a flag being, this one's either gone or gonna go, And so he said the weird thing about it, and he was in his 80s. He goes, I've gone all these years, but all of a sudden, and I figured out that it's about the same time we were landing. So there, obviously, we're not gonna go back and say, well, the war didn't happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what we do is we go back. And for that moment, and then just remind him, this is over. This happened a long time ago. You're totally safe now, And so a lot of times, I've known people that were robbed at gunpoint. I worked with a woman that was carjacked, and it's like, okay, this happened, and this was real, and this was intense, but it's over, and you're past it, and this is, and so now you can, when you start to feel this stress or anxiety, and again, those breaths, you can take a deep breath and just allow yourself to refocus and realize that was a long time ago, or that was in this circumstance that no longer exists. I'll be honest, it's harder when the circumstance is very random, like a carjacking or an armed robbery, or, I worked with one gal who literally, and that was a scary situation, and that happened here in town maybe a decade ago, but her mom was asleep upstairs. She was asleep downstairs. Someone quietly let themselves in through the basement window where she was staying. And she was literally on the phone with the police, having to whisper because she had hidden in the bathroom. There was like this hamper that she was smaller. So she hid behind the hamper. When the police arrived, the assailant with a knife hid in the tub.
Oh, geez.
So he has come into the bathroom where she is. He's in the tub. She's behind the hamper. And they're like, where are you? Do you see him? And she's like, I can't talk. I can't tell you where he is, because as soon as I do, he's going to know I'm here, And she was literally able to get out. He's, that he's in the same room and he's in the tub. And then,
That's when they need something like Morse code.
Yeah.
And so working with her, it took a little bit longer, and it took a little bit longer to bring in that place of safety, because this was a random event. This wasn't a phobia she got from nowhere. This is a phobia she got because someone nearly stabbed her in her own room. It's like, so then yes, you can, even then you do a little bit of run change. You do a little bit of knowing that this is a different time and a different place. And that this, because to our mind, what happens, and that's what was happening to her. Her brother, for instance, was a hunter, and so he came over one time to show her a new hunting knife, and she immediately was bam right back there. So it's taking that edge off, so that you can realize you can see a knife again without feeling it's there to hurt you. You know what I mean? You can, that sort of thing, and that we have, but until you heal it, that part of you just reacts. You know what I mean? So until you go back and heal it, I worked with a woman totally afraid of swimming, and found out when she was a baby, no less, her mom accidentally dropped her and she nearly drowned, So it's like, then after realizing that and doing a couple sessions together, she was swimming, she was water skiing, she realized, okay, that happened, but I'm not a baby anymore. And I'm a big person, and I can learn to swim, and then I don't have to be as afraid of the water, things like that.
100%. That is amazing. And honestly, Charles, before we go to commercial break, I just want to thank you for your work, because I know it may not seem like a lot, especially like swimming or dogs and stuff like that to people, but people remember these are real fears. Like, these are life altering fears. And even just that simple little realization, like Charles said, you're not a baby anymore. You're not a kid anymore. You can take control of your situation. It means a lot to these people. It really does. And Charles, I just want to say thank you for your dedication.
Well, and I've said it all the time.
Yes, thank you.
The biggest blessings I have in my life is that I have learned and experienced so much through my clients.
Yeah.
I mean, there's when you do the type of work I do, it's a blessing that comes back every single time you work with somebody.
100%. And I know we in the paranormal, we feel that too, working with these clients. Yes. So speaking of the paranormal, so we're going to go to our commercial break, guys. Don't go anywhere because we have the Global Ghost Hunt, both the new video for the location for the event itself, and also our new administration video that I am really excited about. Both are amazing. And when we come back, speaking of the paranormal, Charles, we're going to be talking about mental health in the paranormal field. And also a little kind of fun subject, which I'm sure you don't really get asked too much, but I've been wanting. I even told Squeakers and Lurker, I have a question that I've been wanting to ask you ever since the last show that we never got a chance to. So, guys, Don't go anywhere. Sit back, relax. You like that? And enjoy the commercials. Welcome back, guys. And that's right. I said it at the beginning of the show. I'll say it again. Tomorrow launches the website, globalghosthunt.com. There's limited spots available for not just volunteers, but also the teams as well. So if you are interested in doing either one of those dates for the Global Ghost Hunt, go to globalghosthunt.com and sign up. Now, it is going to be a little bit of a waiting period to hear back, but somebody will be in touch with you. So don't, freak out if you don't hear something that day or the next day. It's going to be a work in progress. So bear with us. This is going to be a learning curve for all of us, but
even some more things in the works, possibly.
Oh yeah. But we're going to get there. But there's a lot of things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And if you are a team looking to do the Global Ghost Hunt, all you got to do is, again, go to globalghosthunt.com, sign up, and there's going to be a lot of perks for joining this year and for the rest of the years too, because you don't just sign up and go. You also get some promotional videos. You get some different things to help you promote your event, your investigation, whatever you want to do. A lot of benefits from this. So if you are a newer team, I highly suggest that you sign up as soon as possible, because it's a great way to promote yourself and, more importantly, the locations as well, because that's another reason why we want to do this. I'm getting there, Facebook user, because it's not just focusing on the teams, it's also focusing on the locations, because a lot of these locations are, let's just say, forgotten. So it's a new way, or another way, to promote the location and have some to preserve them a little bit better, so that way more people. Oh, it's Dom again. Okay. So we can let the next generation of investigators go there and enjoy the beauty and the history. And yes, like Dom said, there is full support. See, I'm getting there. Full support for both locations. Squeaker's going to lose the camera. Let's find out. Full support for the locations and the teams as well. So, love you, Dom. But anyway, so yes, again, guys, globalghosthunt.com. Go check it out tomorrow and sign up. We have limited slots available. They will go fast. I am not joking. So, anyway, Charles.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Yes. And before your question, I was looking during the commercials, and someone had shared, and so I want to point this out. Someone had shared that they had, like, when they were 9 years old, they had a run-in with a dog, and that did make them afraid of dogs. It's important to realize that everyone's different. And so for some people, and I over the years, I had some people tell me the most horrific stories from their childhood. And I would be like, oh my gosh, and how's that impact? They're like, not at all. Didn't bother me. You know what I mean? And other people that had what would seem to be the slightest thing happen. And so it's all a matter of your mind, your perception, how you experienced in that moment, and there's many people who go to war who don't come back with post-traumatic stress syndrome. Doesn't mean the people that do, there's something weird about them. It just means we're all individuals. So my dad taught me to swim by throwing me in, like, now I probably could have stood up. Yeah, you too. Yeah. A certain day, that's how you did it. You knew you knew they wouldn't drown, but okay, learn to swim. You know what I mean? And that didn't, that never made me afraid of water. I love water. So it's all individual perception, and so that's why there's no one thing that you can say, oh, if you've experienced this, that's going to happen. Nope. Everyone's an individual. Gosh darn it.
100%. And Spuzzle, aka Casey, yeah, I'm doing it backwards, real good friend of mine, but she's been having issues with anxiety and panic rearing back up. She doesn't know what her trigger is. Psychiatry never figured it out. We think it's just her brain misfiring from her MS, but she's working on it.
Well, in certain conditions like MS, and there's several of them that definitely can affect you in a mental way as well. Chemistry in your brains. I had both an aunt and a really good friend who had MS, and know that there were struggles that they went through. My aunt shared, similar to your friend there, that she was always relaxed. She was the type of person that could always handle stressful. Everyone else would be freaking out. She was fine. And then as the disease progressed, that got a little more it became more profound. There are still through relaxation, through different things, some things that we can do that help with that. But like I've told people before, it's not magic. So like if I can make your knee feel better, but your knee's messed up, I'm not healing your knee. I'm just helping you to work with the nerve endings in your body to help you feel less pain. So but there are some techniques that can help. And obviously if she sought out help and they were unable to pinpoint something, then that probably means she knows herself really well there, and she's onto something that, yes, MS, and sometimes unfortunately the medications that help you in some way also can cause reactions in other ways. So that's
100%.
something else to explore.
100%. Now, I want to talk about the paranormal side before we get in. I want to save my big question for last. Egotistical, maybe, but I want to.
It's your show.
It's gonna be a fun one. Yeah, it's my show. Back off. Anyway, I love how she looks too. I look towards her and she looks the same direction. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Anyway, so
My eyes are going all over the place. I apologize.
shiny.
Right.
So you said you deal with a couple of paranormal teams. You have in the past. You have some experiences. How important that you find as a professional? How important is mental health in the paranormal field?
Oh, very. And many people, when they experience some real paranormal experiences, it can cause them a little bit of unbalance or unsettlement, because sometimes what they experience goes against their belief systems. Sometimes what they experience, just like we talked post-traumatic stress, I know people, and we even had a caller, I think, in the show when you guys were on my show, that ended up recognizing squeakers from working with her years ago when she had, sometimes paranormal things can be very frightening. They can hurt you.
My very first investigation with Steve.
Yes.
I remember that.
And there's things that can happen in the paranormal that can cause just as much stress and just as much unsettlement. And one of the things when I was working with groups, and we kind of had a group with EYP that would do certain things together. And I would say, if you're feeling off, if you're feeling scared, if you're feeling like this is something, it just doesn't feel right to you about this, stay home. Just don't, if you're going to deal or confront something in a paranormal way, you definitely want to be at your best.
Trust your gut.
And if you're not, then honor that. And certainly, and just like working my field, we all do sessions with each other so that we keep ourselves clear. And the same must be important, and is important in the paranormal field, is doing things, even some of the national shows I've seen people talk about, oh, I went out and did this, and then I brought these items back, and then all of a sudden now this spirit or this paranormal thing was in my home. You know what I mean? It's like, yep, you got to take certain steps.
Yeah, we call that a no moment. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But so this has always been kind of a curiosity of mine. From what you've experienced, what's the most common, I don't want to say side effect, but what's the most common thing that you've seen in the paranormal field, or from investigators, that basically gives them, like, is it depression? Is it, a self-worth thing? What's the most common thing for other investigators to look out for? Like, what signs?
Well, investigators and people that are experiencing it, one of the most common things, and that's where para-unity and so much of the work that you all doing is important. One of the things has been belief in self, because once you've experienced something, if I tell you that I saw a UFO and I watched that UFO and I saw it, and you're like, oh, I don't believe in UFOs, you're crazy. And recently, with, I would say 2/3 of the clients I've been dealing with, part of their issue has been that friends and family, coworkers don't believe them, won't support them, or want to say, well, were you drinking? Were you this? Were you that? No, I was, and so for a lot of them, that begins to erode their self-worth and their self-confidence and their self-belief, because they start to have a mental argument between, I know what I saw and what I experienced, but then all these people in my life are telling me I didn't experience that. So I think having that group, or having those people where you can share the experiences and share and have people that you can say this happened and they don't laugh at you or try to put you down or just say, oh, well, you must have been dreaming, or, you know, all the different things that people will say. So I think that's probably one of the biggest, is having that support, so that when you know that you experience things, or you know that you've learned, you know, you've added something to your toolbox as an investigator or someone that's working the paranormal field, that regardless, you know, experience is going to rule over anything else in your life. When you've experienced something, you know it in a way that only you will know it for the rest of your life.
100%. And, you know, the guys, that's why this is so important. I know we've spoken about mental health in the past on this show. You've seen, I think I still have that banner for the suicide hotline. I'll see if I can find that. Yep, here it is. So there's that link. Please feel free to copy it, share it out. But this is why we've always said, if you're going through any of this, remember, you are not alone. Nobody is going through any of this alone. We are all here for you. And individuals like Charles, who's a professional, you got me and Squeakers, who are just here just to listen. Sometimes that's what you need. I know there's a lot of people who say, well, I can't afford the therapy.
There's always somebody.
Yeah, they say they can't afford the therapy. They can't afford this. They can't afford that. Reach out. There's people here who care. This is why a lot of us do these shows, to show you, come to us.
Yeah.
And, you know, something else too, and I don't know if you've seen this, Charles, but we work obviously very closely with death. Yes. A topic that is very sentimental, very sensitive, and can be very taboo. But I feel, since we, as investigators, we work so closely with that subject, we, as you said, have to be on our A game. You know, spin it. Just like what you said, you know, with anybody who has a phobia from when they were younger, you flip it. I've taken a new look on death ever since I started this field. I am actually jealous of the dead. Now, I'm not sitting there saying I wish I was. So Facebook, what I'm saying is us as investigators.
Nope, hair Karens.
Oh, stop it. I had that one too. But we have a Para Karen banner for the bottom too. But yeah. But I actually, and we as investigators, we should know that answer. Is there life after death? Duh. Otherwise, who are we talking to? We already know that. We are, as investigators, are trying to find the what. What happens after death? So me personally, as an investigator, if someone passes away, yeah, it's sad. I don't have their physical body to hang out with, to call. Like my aunt. My aunt was the most recent death I had in my family. Yeah, I can't go over and hang out with her, but I actually celebrate the fact that she doesn't have to deal with the BS that we deal with on a daily basis. And on top of that, she knows that answer. She's a step ahead. Yeah. And it's like that with every death. They are a step ahead. They know. They're just going to that next chapter. Because there's obviously something. We all can't be wrong, no matter your religious background. I mean, unless you're atheist, right. Well, you still believe if nothing happens after death. Okay, well, what are you worried about? But, you know, there's in every religious, in every belief, in every culture, there's something. We all can't be wrong. So they have the what, and that's why I say I'm jealous, because they have that answer we seek. So if you take that, to my opinion, if you take that and into consideration, it makes investigating more fun. It makes you investigate a little bit better, because you're taking on that thought process that these spirits will be able to interact with you. You have some sympathy for them. You can, talk to them and talk to them like a human being. And it's therapy even for them too. It's not just the same old, oh, you're a demon. No, shut up. Let's talk about it. Let's have a genuine conversation, and you will get some amazing results.
Yes, and I've worked with people over the years. One of the callings I've had is to be with people at or near their deathbed, and do what I call guiding them into light. We actually do guided meditations, and now over the years we can record it so they can listen to it when they want to. And I've been there to hear them talk about what they're experiencing and what they see and what they're feeling. And I've been there in the moments that that's happened. And I've also had other times when I was working with an individual and then they didn't pass in that moment. And then one example I've remembered for years is I was working with a lady. I was very close with her and her family. And I'd worked and at that time we'd actually cassette recorded it. That's how long ago it was. There was no record it on your phone or send a file. And I woke up at a little after 3 a.m. and knew, I was like, wow, she's passing right now. This is happening. And I got a sense of what she was seeing, what she was feeling. A couple hours later, I got a call from her partner that said, Charles, she passed this morning, right a little after 3. And she's like, and here's the weird thing, and I'm all goosebumpy at the moment. She's like, she was talking to you. We could feel you. We knew you were there. And this experience was happening. And so, like you said, and I'm real careful, and I tell people to be careful. As humans, we can only understand so much, and it all comes through our perception. So like you said, I can, and it is a comfort to me, you know, to know that this past year I've lost my father. I've lost a mentor of mine who squeakers know, Helen Bonzer, who is just a giant in our area for helping people of all ages and types. And there was an example too of that spiritual connection. I was working with her. We had worked together for years. She was very ill and going downhill. And then I was meditating, having a spiritual experience. And in that experience, I felt her connect with me and say, Charles, you need to come see me soon. And when you do, I won't be able to speak. I can no longer speak. The body has become very weak, but please still come see me. So that was like, I was meditating, you know, I do a lot of late at night meditating. So I was meditating at 2, 3 in the morning. So I literally set an alarm to get myself up early. And I called her daughter who was taking care of her and said, hey, I feel like I need to come out. And she's like, yeah, she can't speak. She can't, you know, and I didn't know this, you know what I mean? And so I certainly went and was at her side. And the bottom line is there is a connection there. There's something, you know, a part of our consciousness, whatever we're a part of, that does go on. It may not be human. It may not be exactly as you view it, and you know, but like you said, across the religious spectrum, whether it's Christianity or Jewish or Islamic or Muslim or Buddhist or pagan or Wiccan or Druid, they all have that belief that there is something that goes on and there's something that connects us.
You know, Charles, I really think you should watch the latest show of Creepy Cryptids. The last one we did on Monday. How about it, Squeaks?
I will look for. Is that also posted where these are?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can find Creepy Cryptids actually on YouTube.
I can send you the link here.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll get you set up. But we actually did well, it wasn't me. It was Mackenzie, my wife, and Squeakers over here. It's their show. And we did a show on theories. And I actually presented a theory about the Garden of Eden.
Wow.
And it got pretty intense, I would say. Wouldn't you say, Squeaks? It got pretty
Yeah, but we all knew how to keep her cool though too. That's what I liked about it. Nobody went off on the deep end too much.
Well, it's better than the WTF was that with our boy Lurker. That was
yeah, Charles. If you see that, yeah, you're gonna see a whole new me.
It was a weird show, but yeah. So, train thought there's somewhere English that works too. Don't mind me, guys. I've had a long day. So Charles, before we close out, I want to ask the question that I've been itching to know. And before I ask it, yeah, I'm going to tease a little bit. I want everyone to please share this out. Not for me, not for Squeaks, not for the Paracrew. Nothing against you, Charles, but not even for Charles. You never know who might need to hear the words that we were speaking about tonight and who may need that help. So please, guys, share. And while you're sharing, please say, I don't know what's going on, but I saw this, and pray for Emmy. Emmy, Better get a hold of me. Get a hold of me, sister. I
Girl,
hope you're
you
all
better
right.
get a hold of him. I hope you're okay too.
Don't maybe come to Oregon. Actually, I better not.
I
say
can
that.
always hop on in the car with my sister. I'll
I better.
just lay down in
Yeah,
the
I
back
better
of the
not
car.
say that because she won't get a hold of me just so I come out to Oregon.
Hello? Are you
But,
adding things for me to do right now?
No.
Yeah, trip to Oregon. Trip to
Somebody
Oregon.
better be there or they will be.
Trip to Pennsylvania. Trip to Pennsylvania.
Right?
Anyway, so Charles, the last question I have for you this evening, and it's a little on the personal side, but I wanted to know, what's your favorite type of meditation?
Awesome. And before I answer, I just want to say one thing. You talked about sharing your theories. When we have to get together and share our perceptions and our experiences because we all learn. And so, the point is to not take it. If someone shares something that's like, well, that's not quite the way I perceive it, listen even more because there's probably something for you to learn. For me personally, and over the years, what I really like to do is and I do it here all the time, is I like to get out. I like to get outside where I can be, and even though I live in an urban area, when I get outside at certain types of day, because I have trees and things around me, I don't even need the music. I've got the birds, I've got the kids playing in the distance somewhere, and get into a place where I can just be, and I'll talk myself through, and I teach clients to do that too. Talking yourself through feeling that relaxation going through your body, going through your mind. And then the more relaxed you become, the more you connect with your consciousness. And then I like getting connected with my consciousness. And from my experience, I'm able to connect with, and like you said, people that have passed. I'm able to connect with Helen, my father, other people. I'm able to connect with myself sometimes and just feel and sense some inspiration. And I will sometimes spend, years ago, there was a book I read by Ellen G. White, who is a prophetess of the Seventh Adventist Church. And whether you believe in the church or not, read some of her stuff. It's so interesting. And she would go into trances and experience different things. And she challenged her followers as well. Don't just read what I tell you about what I experienced. Experience it for yourself. And her challenge was take a night or an evening when you have the time, obviously when you're not getting up at 6 a.m, and see how long you can go. See how deep you can make the experience for yourself. So and I was a teenager at the time, and that really stuck with me. So I will now, at least a couple times a month, and always on Friday nights, I make Friday nights a spiritual night, even after my show. And I will challenge myself. If you went 2 hours last week, go 3 hours this week. You went 3 hours last week, go 4 hours this week. But for me, it's being out in nature, those sounds of nature, and just grounding to the earth, and then allowing the experience to come.
That sounds amazing, actually. I might have to steal some of your techniques.
Absolutely. They're all out. That's the other thing. And that's like you do and I do. I put my shows out there for those that maybe can't afford a private session. And I also, and I'll put that out there right now too. Throughout, and Squeakers knows it. I've always worked with someone. I won't turn you away. I'm currently working with a client that literally is barely hanging on to not being homeless. I don't charge her, and she said, Charles, I might be able to scrape together $20. I'm like, you and your children are barely holding on. You don't give me a dime. The trade-off is, if I heal you and help you in some ways that brings goodness into your life, tell your friends about it.
Yeah.
Share it with people. I believe everything comes back to you, and 100%. You have to do, and my calling and yours is similar, by putting it out there for people to be able to experience in the ways that they need, or come and share, and they have paranormal experiences that they're uncertain about. And certainly, yeah, someone can charge them $1,000 to give them the answers, or they can just help guide them and bring them goodness into their life. And that we can all do in our lives. And you shared, depression can be something happen. There's so much happening. And one thing I challenge people to do, if you're a love and light person, if you're a paranormal person, if you care about yourself and your world, reach out to the people. Ask for some guidance. I've done that before. I won't know what to do in a particular meditation, or I feel pretty balanced and aware, and then I'll literally say, consciousness, awareness, universe, reach out to me. Who do I need to reach out to? Who might be needing a call, a visit, even just a text saying, I did that the other day. I did a meditation and someone came in my mind and I thought, gosh, with COVID and everything, I haven't talked to that person about a year. So I just sent a message saying, hey, missing your beautiful soul and your beautiful smile. Hope all is awesome in your life. And they were like, called me and was like, oh my gosh, Charles, thank you. You don't know what I was going through. And that just you sending that has helped me to kind of remember that, whoa, I can rebalance and that, and so we listen to your own, like Squeaker said, listen to your intuition. Often our intuition will tell us something. We'll have a friend on our mind and then you call them and they were like, I was just thinking about you, Make yourself an ambassador of love and light every moment you can. It's a rewarding thing and you'll help yourself and your community and your family.
100%. And you know what? I want to add on that one, Charles. That's actually a great idea. Everyone, if you could, please in this week, so till next Wednesday, and if you like doing it, continue on, make it a daily thing. Find someone in your contacts list on Messenger, Facebook, doesn't matter, and just say hi and see how they're doing. And yeah, you might get a couple of negative responses or no responses, but the ones you do get back will be genuine.
I think you can Ranger roll those.
Your voice.
And I needed you to try those.
I did.
So
I was gonna say, you never know who's going to reach out to you, even if you had a past history of negativity or whatnot. Second chances, man.
Yep.
But always go with the gut. That's.
Yep. And you never know that person that you split ways with may have just been having a bad day. And it's not, and don't wait for a response. Don't wait for someone to come to you.
You need to get a hanger.
You go to them.
Your room, 2 hangers for your seat, for your lights.
I couldn't hear.
Yeah, you might want to say that again.
Love you, Squeaks. Love you, Squeaks.
You see,
Yep. Now I know what was going on.
Okay. But no, you never know who. I forgot what I said. But you never know.
I'm going for a new record. It's called Distract Matt.
Oh, that's easy. Just hold up something shiny. But you never know who might need to hear that. And if somebody you split ways with, maybe that argument was just a bad day. Or maybe they're going through a bad week. And it's a two-way street, guys, yes. But take the first step. You never know who you may help. So anyway, Charles, we're going to wrap up for tonight. And if you guys haven't looked already, check out the description. Charles's show, which is airing in about an hour, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Go check him out. Show him some support. And there's a comment section on your show, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Tell Charles that you're there to support him and support all of his shows. And tell him the consultant sent you. He'll know where you came from. But sharing is caring, guys. So please, please, please share this out. Go over, check out Charles' show tonight in about an hour. I have the link in the description. Charles, thank you so much for joining us tonight, brother. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
You are an absolute blessing, and nothing but love for you.
Love right back at all of you, and thank you for having me on.
Anytime. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Awesome show, Squeaks. Oh, I know, and I apologize for the commentary.
Perfect. Couldn't have had it the other way.
I think I'm going for round 4 or 5 with the whole muted thing.
Hey, at least you didn't forget to unmute yourself that much.
Right?
So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. Friday. Squeaks, who do we got?
For Friday. What is Friday's date? Oh, we have PD Region.
Uh-oh. I smell some bullshittery.
Right.
I smell some chaos. So, no, I love those boys. Our PD brothers are coming on. I got you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're good. You're good. I know you can't control it. It's all good.
Well, it's either that or you guys will hear a bunch of F-bombs from teenagers.
Maybe not the right show or maybe on Lurker's show, but I'm just
Right.
joking. You're fine. But definitely, guys, come back Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time for our brothers down in PD. See what them boys
And my
are up to.
birthday, so I'm excited for both.
And you definitely don't want to miss it. Squeakers, you better be there.
I won't guarantee how sober I'll be, but
But anyway, that's going
It's
to
gonna be
for
happy
tonight,
day.
guys. That's fine. That's going to do it for us tonight, guys. Stick around. We have the P3 video. Thank you. It's bad whenever I can't hear myself. No, I'm joking. I'm just picking on Squeaks. But that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Emmy, if you're listening, better be in communication. I want to know what's going on. But everybody, yeah, exactly, Squeaks. I already know. Please say some prayers for Emmy. I hope you're doing all right in all seriousness, Emmy. And just remember, you're awesome, and we love you. So, all right, guys, we're going to get going for right now. So we'll see you Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for our brothers over at PD. Can't wait. So, Squeakers, you want to say anything? No? You're good? Okay. Squeakers loves everybody. So do I. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. You all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe. And as always, happy hauntings.
People come and people